Hey everyone, David again from TIC Academy, your source for MikroTik and Ubiquiti training, consulting, and certification worldwide. Se habla español, and we also train in English. This is a follow-up of the video that we recently posted about MikroTik SSTP plus SSL VPN setup. If you haven't gotten a chance to check that video, please do so before you come to this video. So please go review and watch that video before you come here so everything is clear and you can follow along the way this is set to be done. So here is what we are going to do today. If you remember from that video, I said that we will be setting up a Windows machine as a SSTP client. So here are the steps. So this is the TIC Academy's tip of the week. This is something that I'm trying. So basically, it's just a test ground. So SSTP client setup from Windows and MikroTik as SSTP server. Remember, we're referring and we're referencing the older video, the SSTP plus SSL setup. So basically, what we're going to be setting up today is Windows and some things that we need to carry out in our MikroTik device. So here you have the two devices that we set up on the previous video. This is the client device. And here we also have the server device. This is the one that we will be working on. I have all of the windows open because we will need to do some changes and additions to the configuration here on this device. So they are imported, and here there is an issue that I faced before making this video, and this was the certificate revocation list. Two things to have in mind when setting this up. This is not a live system. I mean, I have internet access because I had to set that up right here on the server device, but just as a bare bones station mode connected to my Wi-Fi. So not much to say about that. It has internet connectivity, so it can download this file, which is the certificate revocation list that Let's Encrypt publishes to verify the authenticity, the validity date of your certificate. You can go about without the CRL, which is not recommended unless you're testing this like I'm doing. But if you do not have the chance to have internet access when planning or doing this lab, you can just go into this here. Just gonna show you where it is. Just system certificates, and then you click the settings button and you untick these two guys. CRL download and use CRL. This way you won't have the issues that I was facing when first shooting this video, which were the certificate revocation list is not available, it can be downloaded, all sorts of issues because I was not using CRL. So I decided to connect this server. If you remember from the previous video, I didn't connect this SSTP server to the internet. Also, very important, date must be set, date and time. Your clock must be set up correctly. You can either do it at system clock and set up that manually, or use the SNTP client feature from Router OS, which will go right here. That's about it. Then we can do something, or we have to do something if we are not live on the internet. I do not have a public IP that I can use or map this DNS to play around with this. So you need to go into IP DNS. First, allow remote requests because we will be using our router as the DNS for our network. Just click apply, then go into static, bring this window up and let me zoom a bit. Sorry about the lag on the video, but that's OVS's fault, not mine. SSTP dot MikroTik Colombia. Be very careful when you type in this because it must completely match your certificate. Just one reminder, you can generate these certificates for free at SSL for free, or Let's Encrypt using CertBot wrapper, and create a certificate. Mine is a wildcard certificate, so it will work with the SSTP.MikroTikColombia.com fully qualified domain name I'm using here, FQDN. So I am going to map that specific domain name or host and domain name to this router's IP, which happens to be, as you remember from the previous video, 192.168.100.1. That will take care of the DNS resolution from this Windows machine to the sstp.mikrotikcolombia.com. So certificate verification works and the connection is established correctly. So let's check our steps. So MikroTik video, set up the laptop with static or dynamic IP. Well, this is a very basic step. I didn't set up DHCP on this particular router device, so I just used static IP and that worked. That did the trick. So make sure date and time are set up correctly. To test locally, add static DNS as I did for the fully qualified domain name so that it matches your certificate. Then we are going to create another user or secret within MikroTik router, which you know and remember that we do right here at the PPP menu. We're going to add another user. Zoom again, bring my magnifier so I can see what I'm typing. SSTP win. This is going to be the username and the password. And to be on the safe side, remember, do not leave any. Just lock users to a specific service unless you have a need to allow them all of the VPNs. Then use default encryption to make it more secure. We're going to statically assign IPs. So local address, this will be the gateway for the remote host. It's PPP addressing, so there is no problem if it's the same as another address. So 10.1.1.1. And then for this specific client, I'm going to use 10.1.1.3. After we have done all of these steps, we go to the VPN settings on Windows. VPN settings, create a new one with the right username and password. So VPN provider will be the only one available. We're going to name this SSTP. The domain is going to be sstp.mikrotikcolombia.com, which matches my certificate fully qualified domain name. On the VPN type, we need to select Secure Socket Tunneling Protocol, SSTP. Type of signing info is OK, username and password. And we're going to use SSTP win as user, as we created on our secrets under MikroTik, PPP menu. And the password happens to be exactly the same. So we have a connection ready. Let's test if it's working. I already tried that. So you need to ping sstp.mikrotikcolombia.com. That's my case. Do not ping SSTP MikroTik Colombia on your end. And again, the right IP, 192.168.100. 10.1 replies because that's the one that we set up on our MikroTik as the static DNS. So we have that covered. Then we try to connect and we have liftoff, that they say at NASA. So, okay, we have another new connection right here. The connection established. Okay, we have another dynamically added IP so we can test connectivity to this device. Ping 10.1.1.3. It replies, and from the Windows end, we can surely ping 10.1.1, sorry, 10.1.1.1, and it also replies. So that's about it. You can see that the connection established okay, and Windows is using the SSL certificate from Let's Encrypt. Basically, just remember to watch the first video on this topic so you can follow along the steps outlined in this tutorial. This is how easy it is, but just remember that if you try this without a certificate, Windows is not gonna work, because for connection between Windows client and MikroTik, you need a certificate. If the connection is, as we did on the first video of this series, which is MikroTik to MikroTik, there is no need to use certificates. But I'm a security advocate, so I advise you to get at least SSL for free certificates, which have a validity of 90 days. Then you renew it, but that's not a problem. We're system admins. We're used to doing repetitive stuff. So that's about it. Remember, TIC Academy is your source for training, consulting, and certification on Linux, MikroTik, Ubiquiti, and everything in between. Remember, you can contact us via www.ticacademy.com or with our WhatsApp line, which is +57 312 770 4122. This is David signing off, saying thank you again. We're TIC Academy. We are more.